call this one Van Dyke.
superhero, it's a comic female superhero. And there's still sort of a stigma attached to, I mean, you don't see that really ever. I can't think of a male superhero who is nothing by day, but at night he becomes this big. Spinnerette is sort of the real version of this, I find. And it's just, you can have all these moments in everyday life where you just kind of want to throw your head against a wall and be like, why did I just do that?
I like Spinnerette because she's got like such a sense of spirit to her. Like, even though she's not exactly that great at what she does, it certainly doesn't prevent her from trying. And it's just such a compelling story about a girl who's had this dream her entire life, who now can finally pursue that dream and against all obstacles. You know, it's very, very kick-ass meets Wonder Woman in a sense. You know, she's got the powers, but she's very rogue in 21st century.
She doesn't necessarily know that she's capable of this, but at the same time, she's not really flaunting anything. She's just very much in that moment, and I don't even know where I'm going with this one. I had this in my mind, and it was a Spinnerette moment.
How are you and Spinnerette alike?
I think we both have self-confidence issues, you know? I mean, like, it's just a really real person to be able to connect with, and that's why that character is very easy to fall into. It's very real, and part of acting is that, you know, you have a role to hide behind, but with Spinnerette, it's more so I have a role that allows me to explore myself, because she has flaws, and she realizes that, and that's what I think is most important. Through not even a trial and error process, through throwing yourself in head first and just, you know, hoping for the best, you see if you can do it. And that really imitates life, actually.
Definitely. I think it's really relatable to everyone, because who hasn't had such great ambitions? Like, yeah, wouldn't it be great to be a ninja, or wouldn't it be awesome if I was Batman? But you sort of grow up learning to let those ideals go and to give up on fantasy. But here she is in modern day, and she's had this accident, and the fantasy is very much alive, even against everyone her whole life telling her, forget about it. You know, she's really the underdog.
Could be, and you have to really buckle down and get some hard work done. But at the same time, you know, you shouldn't just let things slip away, because, I mean, if Spinnerette just let that whole part of her life go, I don't even really know what would be left.
And you wrote the project, and you were inspired by Crazy Crow's comic online. Why Spinnerette?
The idea of the female action hero. Most female action heroes kick ass. But what else do they do? What is their inner lives? What do they do beyond just going from sexual pose to beating somebody up, to sexual pose to beating someone up, to occasionally get beat up and tied up? What struck me about Spinnerette is she is a female action hero, but she is not defined totally by the fact that she has internal sex organs. She has wants, she has desires, isn't totally defined by men and women. She is an action hero, but she's not the world's greatest action hero. Okay, so I like the fact there's something human about her, that inner, a character defined by what she wants to do, but what she wants to accomplish it. Not that she's particularly good at accomplishing it, but that she tries. Spinnerette is also a character who has a very defined sense of the world. And a lot of the story is about having that sense of what she has, the sense of the comic book reality. Filmmaker. One of the things that really interesting me is that in low-budget films, either you get low-budget horror movies, which can do so much with so little if you try. I thoroughly believe we can make a very interesting Spinnerette project for not that much money. which is the ultimate idea. And here's the ultimate thing. I mean, if you yourself read this great fantasy novel, or this great science fiction novel, and that science fiction novel has some ideas, would you like to see that in a movie? I mean, you could film it for $100 million, but if you're going to film it for $100 million, the first thing you'd have to do is kind of take out most of the ideas about it, just reduce it to the barest, hero narrative. $100 million on a movie, you gotta make $100 million off it. Basic sense. Actually, you have to make $200 million off it. Really, do that. And that's a very tricky thing to do. So my kind of goal is to try to make something interesting, intelligent, and thoughtful. Not very much. And if you want to copy me, if you want to take your science fiction novel, go right ahead. One of the things that really approached me, is I just asked the crazy crowd, the creator of the Spinnerette, if I could do this, if we could make a short film. And he said, sure. He said, we can. Why not? Go nuts. And if you go to any science fiction novelist or anybody like this and do the same thing, you never know what they can say. You never know how these things can respond. My fundamental goal, the reason you should invest in this, is to do some Neela copy, because I would love to see 1,000 copies.
So this is why we need your help. We desperately want to see this project get made. It's original, it's a unique concept, it's rogue, and it's real. Any amount of money you could give would be greatly appreciated, from $1 all the way up to several thousand. If you're super wealthy, we take millions. But that money will go towards helping us pay for the better effects, for the stunts that we want to have. There's going to be parkour and things like that need choreographing. Basically just to make it as real and action-packed as we can have.
It's just such a passion project explode. I mean, if you think about it, Spinnerette herself is kind of this little, if you just saw her, you think, oh, this kind of meek little girl. And she herself, I mean, she's larger than life. And we want this project to be larger than life.
If you don't give us money, the dog is gonna get it.
This sounds like a job. Spinnerette.